quarterback decides to turn into a runner himself, they're able to converge and make the play and keep him short of the first down.
No issues there. This one is good. And the Patriots are out to an early 3-0 lead.
You know, they did a lot of good things on this opening drive, Mike. I know they stalled out once they got down there into the red zone. They're going to need to work on finishing some of these drives as this game moves along. But that's a good 3 points to start this game.
3 points on that opening drive. We'll see the response as the kick's away. He's across the 20 to the 21. That's where the drive will begin. So the Raiders come out, and Greg, they make a change at quarterback in the offseason. It is now year 13 for Geno Smith, but year 1 in silver and black.
Mike, isn't there just something different about week 1 of the NFL season? I mean, after months of anticipation, debate, speculation, it all gets settled on the field. New coaches, new teams, rookies playing their first time. Man, it's just an exciting time of year, and I'm pumped to be calling it alongside you.
To throw on the first play, it's Smith. A float behind his man, can't reel it back in. And that'll go down as an incompletion. He was looking for Jack Best that time, and it'll lead to a second down.
And when you look down the field, Mike, there's just really nobody creating any real separation, and instead he tries to give one of his guys a 50-50 contested catch opportunity, but with the coverage as tight as it was, it just falls incomplete.
2nd and 10. From the shotgun, Smith. Out of the backfield, it's Ashton Genty. And he's got this up close to the 35-yard line. It's a pickup of 12. First down, Vegas. On the ground, here's the first-round pick from April's draft. And good, hard running there. He'll push his way forward. Gain of about 5.
Brings up 2nd down.
Ball on the 40 now. Here's 2nd and 4. Now the Raiders going to use the first of their timeouts. Here comes 2nd and 4. They'll go again with Genty. And he'll be stacked up at the line of scrimmage. It's 3rd and 4. From the gun, it's Geno. Gets that one complete to his tight end Bowers. And they'll get this one down to the 35-yard line. First catch for him on this new season. And it results in a first down. Here's a handoff to Genty. Trying to find some place to go, but nothing developing. Tackled behind the line. It's a loss of 1.
This is pretty impressive from the big guy in the middle, Mike. I mean, typically we see these guys make most of their plays on the interior of the defense. They're big bodies, they're run stuffers. But look at the athleticism here as he's able to get outside the numbers and make the tackle behind the line of scrimmage.
Keep it on the ground with Genty. Running room hard to come by as he'll get ahead for a yard. Christian Ellis, they're on the stop.
It's a gain of a yard.
Got to get this to the 25. Here's 3rd down. Throwing is Smith. This one is taken in downfield. Big completion. It picks up 25 yards and gives them a golden opportunity. It's first and goal. Here's Genty. And he'll get back to the line of scrimmage at best. Might have even lost a yard there.
A loss was definitely not something they had accounted or budgeted for in this spot. And now, I think it really limits what do you feel comfortable dialing up here on second and goal.
Push back to the 11-yard line for second and goal. Trying to stiff it. He gets back to the line, and that is it. Third and goal coming up.
Give credit to this defense, Mike. Their back's against the wall, and they're standing tall so far. Nothing on those first two runs. We'll see what the offense has in store now as they bring up third down.
Big play coming up, third and goal. From the shotgun, it's Smith.
What a nice play defensively. It's always a bit of a challenge. How long do I stay in coverage defending my zone or my man? How fast do I come up and pursue a scrambling quarterback? They did a nice job rallying to the ball late. They're able to bring him down to force fourth down. You know, I think it's safe to say here, Mike, as this offense leaves the field, they wanted to stay out there and go for it. But I think in this case, the coach is playing the long game. He understands that these 3 points now can end up being very valuable as this game moves along.
Marcus Jones now to return. And he'll work this one past the 25 to right about the 28-yard line. So the Patriots, 4-13 last year. They make the coaching change. They find a quarterback they hope in Drake May. And all of a sudden you bring Mike Vrabel in here, and Greg, it feels a little bit different around this Patriots squad.
It does. And listen, there's no question. In the NFL, Mike, we all know you need to be good at 2 spots if you want to be consistent over any period of time. And that's head coach, and they believe they got their guy in Mike Vrabel after the 1-year tryout of Gerard Mayo. They feel like they finally landed on the person who can carry on that Patriots legacy, that identity. And then, of course, you need to be competitive, and you need to be set at the quarterback position. And now going into year 2, Drake May, in the midst of chaos last year, Mike, he was pretty good. I mean, he did a lot of really good things with some really bad things going on around him. So they think they've got the quarterback checked. They think they've got their head coach of the future. Now just continue to build that roster, build an identity of winning, and this is going to go a long way towards doing that.
On second down, it's May. Hauled in by the tight end, Henry. And nice work after the catch. He stopped a little short of the first down marker, but it is a pickup of 9.
The drag route is such a good way to get the ball early into the hands of your tight end and take some pressure off the quarterback and give him an easy completion. The size and the athleticism allows them to try to pick up more yards, but do it after the catch.
Trying to drive his way forward. I'm not sure he got there. Going to depend on the mark, but yeah, he's short. Short, and it's fourth down.
Great job by that linebacker timing his blitz. He didn't give any indication to the offense that he was coming, and he's able to get through that hole and take the ball carrier down for a loss.
On the return is Tucker. And good coverage by Hutchie. They stop him before he can get any return cranked up. And Greg, this was a contender for a big change with 4-13 a year ago. And boy, did the Raiders do that in the offseason, in the draft, and free agency, but maybe most importantly, with the new head coach. What does Pete Carroll bring to the silver and black?
Yeah, I think the thing that is so true about Pete is just his ability to be consistent. You know, no matter what team it was on, back in those USC days when he built that juggernaut, and then obviously the identity and the culture he brought to Seattle and their sustained success over a long period of time. He goes out, he brings in a very familiar face from Seattle. They trade for Geno Smith. They get Ashton Genty in the draft. This has the early makings of that ground and pound, play great defense, manage the game at quarterback that we saw Pete Carroll turn Seattle around pretty quickly years ago. So he's going to continue to stay true to his method, stay true to his process. And if it's anything like what we've seen before, I don't expect Las Vegas to be down very long. The offense thinks that they can just kind of plow this one up there in the middle and keep the chains moving, but not on this defense. Not only do they not pick up the first down, but after suffering that loss, now they've got some decisions to make on third down.
Working out of the gun, Smith. And that is incomplete. Trey Tucker, the intended receiver. And it's going to be fourth down. The Raiders have their punt team out there. That's Marcus Jones back to return for the Patriots. A fair catch called for and taken out beyond the 45-yard line. So now the New England offense getting ready for their next possession. All even here in this opening quarter. And the drive will begin with first down. And the first carry for Antonio Gibson. They try to push forward. He'll wind up getting 3 yards with that one. Eric Stokes, the corner. They're on the stop.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 50-yard line.
Ball right on the 50-yard line. Here's 2nd down and 7. They'll give up the middle to Stevenson. And he's going to be brought down. And with that tackle, we hit the end of the first quarter of play. Time for the second quarter. Patriots with the football. They've got it facing 3rd and a yard. It's the quarterback with the sneak. And he's going to be brought down right on that yellow line. But the official signal, he's got enough for the first down.
I know it's early in this game, but in my mind, that's 4-down territory, and certainly now the coach doesn't have to make that decision. He keeps it on the ground on 3rd and short, gets a fresh set of downs, and now they got to see if they can come away with some points.
Off the play fake, here's May. On the move left. They get 21 on that one. First down, New England.
It's a gain of 21 yards. That's good for a Patriots.
This is an element to his game that we don't necessarily spend a lot of time talking about. He's not known as a traditional runner at the quarterback position. But when he has some space like he had here, he is more than capable of not only converting first downs, but picking up big chunk plays.
To throw on first down is May. Throw to the right flat. It is caught. And he's brought down after a gain of 6 on first down.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd down.
Here's a 2nd and 3 forthcoming. They'll run out of the gun. And it's Stevenson. And he'll be close to a first down. A gain of a couple as they mark him just short.
And after that short run, puts them a little bit closer to the first down marker. And they're going to need to create more running room on the ground if they plan on extending this drive.
He's got his big tight end. Hunter Henry. Touchdown, New England.
What separates the really good quarterbacks from everybody else in the National Football League, Mike, is not only ability to process, but the ability to process quickly under pressure, and I think that's exactly the case here. He's able to go through his progression, find his target in the end zone, and then deliver that ball on time, accurately, and the result is a touchdown.
On the return is Dylan Lowby. Across the 20. They'll mark them down before the 25-yard line. That's where the offense will take over. The Raiders offense ready for this next possession. Greg, you take a step back and look at the AFC West big picture. This is historic stuff. Chiefs are going for a 10th straight division title, but you have to remember, two other teams in this division won double-digit games last year. So the question is, are the Chargers and the Broncos that far behind Kansas City?
You know, it sounds crazy. When you mentioned 9 in a row, you think, oh, they're just going to continue to run away with it. But I'm actually fascinated by this division. I think L.A. and Denver are a lot closer to this year's version of Kansas City. Maybe then there's a lot of talk about around the rest of the league. So until someone beats them, you'd be crazy to not pick Kansas City. But last year it was a 4-game and a 5-game spread between them. I think this year, come down the stretch, that spread is going to be a lot tighter.
No, Greg, I'm thinking if I'm a fan or even in the front office for the Chargers or the Broncos or the Raiders, do I build my team to try to knock off the king of the hill? Because you only play Kansas City 2 of those 17 games. So how do you factor that into your construction?
Yeah, I think it's such a great point. It's really fascinating to dive into. And while I wouldn't necessarily build my roster to just beat Kansas City or to just beat whoever you view as the top team in the division, you do want to find some commonalities among your 3 division opponents and make sure you are built to play within your division. Remember, that's 6 of the 17 now. Winning the division, you get you home playoff games. There's a lot on the line when you win your division and compete for that title. So, yes, every team has to build their roster. If you have a bunch of really good quarterbacks, you better be able to rush the passer and play pass coverage. If you're playing a lot of ground and pound, big running backs, you better be really good on the inside in defense and be able to defend the run. So there's themes across every division, and the teams that are built to compete within the division are usually the teams that find themselves in the playoffs.
The Patriots offense getting those helmets back on, ready to head out for their next possession. Greg, this AFC East, a division that really has been dominated by the Bills. The 5 straight division titles, it's hard to see who can knock them off that perch right now.
Yeah, and I think until someone decides that that's going to change, I think you just have to assume that Buffalo remains the king of the East. And I think when you look at the bottom of the division with the Jets and New England, they're clearly in a rebuild. New quarterbacks, new coaching staff, trying to kind of get themselves out of the bottom of the division. Miami seems to me, I don't know if they're ready to compete necessarily with Buffalo directly, but Miami is a playoff caliber roster, a playoff caliber team. They've showed it in years past. So if anybody's ready to compete, I think it's Miami. I just don't know, Mike, if they are ready top to bottom over the length of the season to get enough wins to keep pace with a team as good as Buffalo.
And 2 new coaches at the bottom of the standings last year, the Jets and the Patriots. And Greg, both guys who played for a long time in the league and bring a certain amount of toughness to the top of the organizations.
Oh, absolutely, and it was very clear exactly what New York and New England were looking for. They wanted culture setters, right? It wasn't about getting the fancy play caller. It wasn't about the X's and O's. They needed to establish an identity and a culture of excellence and of winning. So, no question, Mike, there was a very clear mission, a clear path to landing on Vrabel and Aaron Glenn, and they think they have their guy for the long term. So far here early, Mike, the key for this offense has been their ability to maintain possession by converting on these 3rd downs. It's going to be a big storyline the rest of the way. This defense has to find a way. When they force 3rd down, they got to get off the field.
Made out on 1st and 10. And he'll just get rid of this. Smart play to throw it away, and that'll set up 2nd down.
They just have to be more creative with their route concepts, Mike. I mean, there's nobody open, nowhere to go with the ball, and quarterback's just forced to throw that one away.
We'll try again. It's 2nd and 10. Throw again is May. That one too far out in front to be brought in, and it's incomplete.
So on a day where he's completed, give or take half of his passes, Mike, you have to imagine there's a handful of throws he'd like to have back, and I think that last one falls in that category. But the biggest thing, and most fortunately for them, they find themselves with a lead despite a bit of an up-and-down performance out of their quarterback.
Open man is Douglas. It's complete. They gain 18 yards on that one. Good for a Patriots first down.
That's good for a Patriots
Third downs, Mike, those are quarterback downs. Those are the downs where you tend to find yourself in a must-pass situation, and that's where the top guys in the league are still capable of overcoming it. So throw the ball downfield, be accurate with the ball. Winning on third downs, that is a recipe for success.
May to throw again. That's over the middle and intercepted. Picked off by Jeremy Chin. He's inside the 40. Still going. And he's going to bring this one back the distance. Touchdown, Las Vegas.
You know, it always amazes me, Mike, that these guys have all this energy, that following a long return like that then they can get into these big, elaborate celebrations. But listen, I don't blame them. You're a defensive guy. You don't get the ball in your hands very often. When you score, man, you better make the most of it.
Daniel Carlson on to attempt the extra point. Oh, he missed the extra point. It's no good, and they can't even this one up. They will remain down by 1. Both teams ready to go once more as the kick's away. Jones now on the return. He'll be brought down past the 25. Decent field position to start this drive. The Patriots offense makes their way back out to the field for their next possession. You know, Greg, you start to think about, okay, who are the teams that didn't make the playoffs last year that have a chance this year? Look, it happens every year. We just have to identify who they are. Who are a couple top of mind for you as we start 2025 here?
You know, as I start in the AFC, I think the Cincinnati Bengals, and you got to think the way their season ended last year, they rattle off 5 wins straight, really on the back of Joe Burrow. We could have made the argument if they're a playoff team, Joe Burrow was the best player. I mean, he was incredible. Most weeks, Michael, he single-handedly carried that offense. Now, new defensive coordinator in Al Golden coming from the college ranks. Can he just make that defense in Cincinnati average? Because if they just play a little bit better with that high-profile offense, I think they're a team. They might not win the division with Baltimore, but they're going to be close and maybe at least get one of those wild card spots.
Once you're flipping over, who are the guys you're watching in the NFC?
You know, I think Dallas is going to find themselves, just the fact that I know the division is difficult. Obviously, Philadelphia remains really strong. Does Washington kind of regress a little bit back now in year 2? They were the high-profile, big splash team of last year. Do they regress to the median? Time will tell. But I think healthy Dallas, healthy Dak, healthy Micah Parsons, like that roster that we saw play last year is not the roster on paper that we expected to see. So I think Dallas has a chance. I think San Francisco always is going to be a team, again, dealt with their own injuries last year with McCaffrey and all the stuff on defense. So I think San Francisco and Dallas are 2 perennial teams we expect to be in the playoff hunt. They missed out last year. I wouldn't be shocked to see them back in it again this year.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the Raiders' 33-yard line.
From the 33, here's 2nd and 5. They'll go again here with Stevenson. He's able to get away from one man, but the reinforcements were there fast. He's taken down for a loss on the play.
2-yard loss.
A tackling plan for the defense, Mike, is critical when you're facing a back like this. You know that one guy is not going to be enough to bring him down. You have to get as many hats to the ball as you can, slow him up just enough to buy time, and in this case, they get him down for a loss.
Got to get it to the 28, but now it's 3rd down. Pass caught right side by Henry. He's got a touchdown on the books from earlier. And that catch gets him a 1st down.
And this is what can happen when you're so worried about protecting the sticks, Mike. You force them to throw the ball underneath, but then you've got to be able to rally the ball and tackle. But they weren't able to do it before he gets the line to gain, and he ends up picking up the 1st down anyway.
On 1st and 10, here's May. He's got it at the 7. And he will score! Hunter Henry, touchdown New England. What a start to the year. his second touchdown in this opening half. And that is number 2. Greg, he is off to some kind of start in this one. 2 quarters and 2 receiving touchdowns.
Mike, this is one of those situations where as a defensive coordinator, you've got to give your group an answer. Because right now, they don't have one for this guy.
Raiders 9.
The kickoff team is out on the field. And we're back to it as the kick's away. Hami Malott to return it. And a solid run back there. He'll get this out past. The 30-yard line. The Raiders offense ready to get back at it. You know, Greg, early on, it's always new faces in different places. Off-season movement, what caught your eye?
I think there's so many good ones, right? You talk about Stephon Diggs. He ends up in New England, and Cooper Kupp now. He's moving on to Seattle from the Rams, but I think it's the guy the Rams signed to replace him, Davante Adams. I know he's not the youngest anymore, but watching him play in New York with Aaron Rodgers last year with the Jets, he can still run, he can still make every catch, he can still go up and compete at the high point. I think you put Davante Adams with Matthew Stafford, Puka Nacua, in that offense run by Sean McVay. I think that's a sneaky, maybe not a sneaky because he's a really household name, but I think that's a great signing by the Rams.
And always interesting from the offseason, the quarterback movement and unique ties. Some of the biggest names were or now are Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, and now the guy that is going to line up behind center for Seattle, Mike, is Sam Darnold. And, of course, we all saw that incredible season he had last year in Minnesota with Kevin O'Connell and Justin Jefferson and that really dynamic Vikings offense. So now he goes to Seattle. I think he's going to have an inspired Cooper Kupp. He was let go from the Rams. If he's healthy, he's a big weapon. Jackson Smith-Njigba. He has some pieces in that puzzle that he can push the ball downfield to. So I'm excited to see Sam. That's what everyone thought he was going to be coming out of college when he was a high draft pick of the New York Jets.
They'll come up here, 1st and 10. From the pistol, Smith. Throw over the middle, and they can't connect. It's incomplete.
Well, it's pretty clear the main reason why they find themselves trailing in this game, Mike, has really just been the inefficiency of this offense and primarily out of the quarterback position. I mean, to complete less than half of your pass attempts, it just makes it very hard to compete at a high level consistently in the NFL. And if they want to find themselves having any chance of getting back into this game and winning this one, he's going to have to get a lot better with the ball.
Pass interference. Defense. Automatic first down.
A first down throw for Smith. Hit as he throws there. It's going to wind up incomplete. The pressure got to him that time, and it'll set up 2nd down. They'll run with Genty, and he'll get nothing here. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all.
And they've really done a nice job defensively holding them in check. I mean, ideally, you'd want your back to average around 4 yards a pop, but they're falling short of that threshold as of now. And partially it's why they find themselves trailing at this stage in the game.
It is 3rd and 10. To throw. Smith. Flush to his right. He's going to run out of time. They get to him and bring him down. Milton Williams taking him down for the first sack of this new campaign. Now the Patriots going to use their first timeout.
The defensive coaches, they preach all week, Mike. They have to have relentless pursuit of this quarterback when he tries to extend the play. So often it results in a great play for the offense and a big pickup. This time, because of that pursuit, it leads to a big loss.
There you see Mike Vrabel, his Patriots set for their next drive. You know, Greg, as we get the season going, obviously the adjustment to last year's new kickoff rules in place. We talked to a lot of coaches during the year. Folks didn't seem too bothered about letting the other team have the ball at the 30-yard line after a touchback. But the 35-yard line, I don't know, does that feel any different to you?
You know, it does, and I think the part that people don't talk about enough, Mike, is the impact that it's making going for it on 4th down, not settling for field goals. Because remember, in the old days, if you got stopped inside the 5 or you scored inside the 5, it was all the difference of if I kicked a touchback, they got the ball at the 20. There wasn't that much of a spread, but now all of a sudden, is it in my best interest to settle for a field goal and kick off when I could give you the ball at the 35? Or even if I fail down there tight in the red zone on the 3, you now possess the ball inside your own 5-yard line. So I think that's an element now that's causing offenses to go for more touchdowns, kick less field goals, because the ensuing kickoff is giving my opponent the ball in much more favorable territory.
You know, the other rule that is adjusted are overtimes in the regular season will mirror playoff overtime. Each team getting the ball. I'm so happy, Greg, because I just felt so incomplete when a team got to overtime, but then their offense, which may be the best part of the team, never got on the field.
Yeah, and I couldn't agree more. And you hear everyone saying, oh, well, just get a stop. Well, you know, it's that legendary game between Mahomes and Josh Allen where neither team stopped anyone. It was just an offensive touchdown festival. So you won a coin toss and you got the ball. Well, the other team's defense hadn't gotten to stop the whole game. If Josh Allen got the ball first, he probably would have scored on a walk-off. So I love the idea of both teams getting the ball. If a game is good enough to go to overtime, let's finish it. We don't need to be in a rush. There's no curfew. Let's let the guys finish it on the field a lot more similar to how the regular game goes and not have significantly different game flow come over.
That's complete to Stephon Diggs. And he's going to have the first down as he gets out of bounds, and he stopped the clock as well.
That's another Patriots first down. 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
Here's May again. That'll be complete to Gibson. Oh, a nice open field tackle there. He could not get free. They're going to stop him for no gain.
Brings up 2nd down. At the
May to the air once more. And that ball incomplete over the middle. Demario Douglas, the intended target. And it's going to be 3rd down.
9 yards to go.
A rare miss for a quarterback that we've seen really come out on fire throughout this entire contest. I mean, his completion percentage, Mike, is well above league average, and frankly, it's really the biggest reason why they find themselves out in front.
Throwing on 3rd down is May. He manages to get the throw away and completes it. And they're in business now. He is out of bounds inside the 10. Give him 27, and it's 1st and goal.
And it's hardly an exaggeration when I say, Mike, that he's probably one of the most difficult individual assignments in the entire league. It's like playing football against that really good kid in your neighborhood. He's just hard to cover, and plays like this.
A second effort, and he is in. Ramondre Stevenson. Touchdown, Patriots.
You know, we spent so much time talking about the heroics of a game-winning drive to end in the 4th quarter in 2-minute mode. Well, let's talk about a 2-minute mode, Mike, at the end of the first half. Might not be in walk-off fashion, but I'll tell you what, executing that here, going into halftime, changes this entire game.
They didn't leave much time on the clock to put together a drive here at the end of the first half. And the kickoff's coming their way. And no chance to return this one through the end zone for a touchback. From the 35, it's 1st and 10. Now, Gino. Oh, and a short throw there, but it's going to end up incomplete. That's a pass he say he should have had. Instead, he does not, and it brings up 2nd down. Gino to throw. That one intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Jones. And he is going to bring this one back. A DB's dream. A pick 6 for touchdown. And they extend the lead. The defense joining the party. A pick 6 for a touchdown. Greg, they are extending this lead out.
Yeah, now you've just seen both sides just make their impact felt here in the first half. The offense has done their part, and now it's the defense that is able to capitalize on the turnover and take it all the way back for the pick 6.
4 seconds still to be played in this half as that one's away. And there'll be no return forthcoming, so the ball comes out to the 35. They'll start this one with a 3 tight end look. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he's going to be taken down as time runs out on this first half of play. Halftime coming.
All right, Mike, thanks very much. Today is the day we've been working towards all summer, the debut of our new halftime show. So without further ado, let's roll. Our trip around the NFL starts now, and it starts with a good one in the AFC West. And it's a guy who missed most of the run to the Super Bowl last year, Rashee Rice. A brilliant catch and run for the touchdown. The Chiefs begin their search for a 4th straight Super Bowl appearance. They get the victory in Week 1. From there, why don't we go to South Philly, look in on the Eagles as they're hosting the Dallas Cowboys. And it's last year's Offensive Player of the Year, Saquon Barkley. He's going to take this one in, 11 yards on the touchdown run. The Eagles begin their title defense with a victory in the season opener. One more to tell you about. We go to Jacksonville, the Jags taking on the Carolina Panthers. And it's the 3rd-year man, Bryce Young. He'll find his big tight end in the back of the end zone, touchdown. This one's gone to halftime, and it's the Panthers with the lead at the half. And time for one more look at the rest of the scores from around the National Football League. Meanwhile, our game has not been all that competitive, a one-sided affair through 2 quarters. As we send you back out to our commentary team, Mike Tirico and Greg Olson.
All right, Scott, thank you. Second half drawing near. So good to have you Back with us here on EA Sports. Very one-sided first half of action. Will we get a turnaround? Let's find out. The third quarter is